did you say?
Impossible.
Come on, follow me! Hurry, hurry! I never thought you'd be such a badass.
Yeah, well, just keep your mouth shut and I won't have to kill you, too. Here's how it goes. Mr. Yutaka snuck back here and killed Koizumi. Only a killer knows their motive, right? So we say that we thought he seemed a little off. Yeah, he was acting weird. That'll be the story.
You think the police would actually buy that?
Yeah, but first we're gonna have to stab the corpse a few more times. It'll make Mr. Yutaka seem like a total psycho.
Here goes! But wait!
Well, it looks like we've been found out. The game's over and we lost.
It's true, you beat us fair and square.
I'm sorry. I did it because Kyun told me to. Right! Now, Madame Haruhi, supernatural genius and #1 sleuth, will reveal the results of her amazing detectiving!
Why don't you pat yourself on the back a little harder?
By now, it should be evident that the murder mystery was in fact an elaborate hoax designed and orchestrated by Koizumi, the Tamaru brothers, Mr. Arakawa, and Miss Mori. It was an impressive plot, especially with that red herring at the end.
Nice observation. It was all in fun, though. A surprise party with a twist, if you will.
I'm sure she knew what was up right from the start.
Hate to admit it, but in the beginning, you guys had me going. Until I got your fake solution where Mr. Keiichi was killed by Kyon and the boys busted through the door. But I realized something. If he really did collide with the door hard enough to push the knife through to his heart, then the door should have had blood or scratches on it. But there wasn't anything like that on the inside of the door.
I noticed that, thank you.
Okay, but you're talking about a really sturdy door there. I mean, I don't think that gives you very much evidence to suspect anything.
There were other fishy things as well, like the day when Koizumi first met Mr. Arakawa. He said, "I haven't seen you in so long," but Mr. Arakawa said he only started working here a week ago, so it would have been the first time they met.
You are 100% correct.
I figured that one out, too.
There was also that time when we all ran up to Mr. Keiichi's room. You headed right down the hall to his door, right, Koizumi? So how could you have known which room was his? You told us this was the first time you'd ever been here, remember?
I can't believe it. Not just one, but two mistakes?
But that's not so strange. He could have found out which room was mine while the rest of you were off doing something else.
That is correct. However, the final clue was the empty plate Kyon saw in the kitchen. I'll let Kyon take this one, because I didn't actually see the plate.
I noticed that Mr. Keiichi is the only one on this island who eats with a fork and knife instead of chopsticks. Of course, there's the possibility that Mr. Arakawa eats with a fork and knife, too. But you see, the carrots remained on the plate untouched. That's when I realized that it was actually Mr. Keiichi's meal.
If you add it all up, there's only one conclusion to come to, and that is, there was never a murder to begin with. Mr. Keiichi was, is, and always has been alive! Wow!
I'm sure that in her mind, Haruhi's probably hearing applause that's 100 times bigger than that.
So, we've decided to turn the tables and put on a little show of our own. Then the fight I saw on the balcony that day was part of the act as well.
That's right.
I was planning on letting the cat out of the bag at some point.
I'm still amazed you solved the mystery so quickly.
Well, all of your sleuthing caused their whole dastardly scheme to unravel. That was some nice detective work there.
Of course! It's elementary, my dear Watson. Elementary!
So all of this was something your organization cooked up?
Yes. The Tamaru brothers, Mr. Arakawa, and Miss Mori are all colleagues of mine.
I told you we'd have a
We
blast.
believed it would be best if Miss Suzumiya had a mystery to keep her mind free of any strange thoughts, if you know what I mean. Well, you do. Although, bringing your sister along was not a part of the plan.
I asked you at the beginning of this trip, and you told me that the organization didn't have anything to do with it.
Naturally. I mean, I couldn't tell you the truth about their involvement right then. If you don't mind me asking, when did you catch on to our scheme?
To tell you the truth, I knew about it right from the beginning.
Indeed.
An incident like this could never happen. Because there's no way that Haruhi would ever really wish for someone to be murdered. It's just how she is.
Then you really trust Miss Suzumiya, don't you?
And there's one more thing that I want to know. Haruhi said she saw a shadow. You had something to do with that, right?
I don't know anything about that. I'm telling the truth. The mystery's solved, so there's no reason for me to keep acting.
Well, she saw something. What do you think it was? Can't be.
Apparently, Miss Suzumiya wished for a murderer that wasn't one of us, and that was probably the shadow.
But if it was something Haruhi wished for that came to life, then... That means there's some kind of horrible something lurking on that island right now. Nah, it was probably just the storm that was making Haruhi see things.
So, where do you want to go next? How about the Bermuda Triangle?
Is Bermuda really a triangle?